All right. So if you guys have any questions, just post on Q&A, okay? Let's see, how are futures different than options? We're going to go over that in a second. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here. All right, anyway, so let's get it. So pretty much 80% of you guys have never traded futures, as I expected. Most people have not. Futures trading is a bit different, right? Actually, it's much different than trading options or stock, okay? What do we know about buying shares? We can basically buy, right, at any price. And at that point, we are able to hold forever, right? Unless it gets delisted. There's no reason that we will be forced out of our position, right? At all. With options, right? Let's type this out, I guess. Stocks, right? Buy at specific price, no obligations, and can hold forever, right? That's options. I mean, that's stocks, right? So now most of us here, we trade options, right? So options, right? Buy a contract with an obligation at a specific price, bound, right, by the expiration date, and cannot hold forever, right? Expires. Okay. Also, what requires varied amounts of capital. Okay. Also, can be bought on a cash or margin account. Okay. So let's do that. Okay. So now right, we have what? Futures. Okay, so futures here. Okay, futures. So futures, damn, you guys are posting a lot of shit. Brett, you what is the difference between AM and SPX? Do trade recaps after this, okay? Brett, you made me lose half my account with that shot play. Wow. Did I make you press the buy button and go in with half your account? No. I think you lost half your account with any play that you did. That's funny. All right, futures. Bought at a specific price. Perpetual contracts. What does that mean? We'll go over that in a second. Requires X. You never go that deep, and if so, set SL, fool. Yeah, exactly. Requires X amount of capital per commodity or indice. Okay, let me move this over. Hours, right? Hours of futures are Sunday 6 p.m. until Friday at 5 p.m. Okay. Only breaks in between are 5 to 6 p.m. all in EST. Okay. So futures run all night, starting Sunday night until Friday at 5 p.m. Okay. There are only breaks from 5 to 6 p.m. Okay. That's it. Otherwise, the markets close from Friday at 5 p.m. until Sunday at 6. So the only break you have is about a 48-hour period from Friday to Sunday. And then they open back up. You can trade them at night. They're live right now. You guys, we're looking at futures actually right now. To be honest, right now we're looking at the NASDAQ, which I'm going to go over all the indices and everything in a second. Futures trading 101. Okay. So let's go over the different types of futures you can trade. First of all, let's see if you guys can name a few. Okay, I'll open up the chat a little bit. All right, so what are some of the futures contracts that we can trade? Contracts we can trade. Let's see what you guys can name. All right, so first one is ES. And what is ES, guys? ES is the S&P 500, okay? Next one, what's the next big one? I have pro tip, I got them all right here. NQ, right? Next one is NQ. This is the NASDAQ. Okay. So next one, RTY, which is the what? Russell. All right. Okay. Next one. Is YM. Okay. That is Dow Jones. Okay. Next one. Big right now. What? CL, right? This is crude oil. Okay. Next one. Now, you know, there's multiple different ones. I can get into fucking soybeans with you guys. I can get into wood, lumber. I can get into corn, right? I can get into coffee beans, a bunch of shit. But I'm going over the main. I got your wood right here. I'm going over the main ones right now. Okay, right? The main ones are these. Okay, for the most part. Okay, and they're all different. They're all different. Now, there's two different types of contracts with futures. So two different ways to trade futures, to trade each equity. Okay. There's one minis, which is normal, and then two micros, which is 1/10 the size. Okay. So keep that in mind. So NQ, okay, NQ, and we can pull all this up. I'm gonna give you guys a way to look at all this. All right, you guys are saying some random shit right now. Just if you're not here to do the lesson, just get off. Honestly, just get off. Anyway, so the way that you're able to trade futures, right, is by having a set amount of money that you need in your account per commodity or indice. Okay. So for ES, and there's different brokers, they all require different amounts, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. But how futures are broken down, right? First of all, is you guys see here, right? That futures move differently, right? You can see on the Dow, right? 34,502, right? It goes from there to 501. There's no what? There's no decimal place. You guys can see here on the Russell, right, that it moves in increments of what? 0.1. You guys can see here on ES and NQ that it moves in increments of what? Quarters, right? 0.25. So every time it moves, every time a contract moves, that is called a tick. Okay. So let's write it down. Each Each move up slash down is called one tick. Each move up or down. Let's get off all my indicators. Each move up or down is called one tick. Okay. $1 equals 1 point though. Okay. So if $1 equals 1 point, I'm going to teach you guys everything. Don't ask any questions yet until the end, or I'll at least until the middle. $1 equals 1 point. Okay. So how many ticks are in NQ and ES? 4, right? So let's actually do it over here, right? 4 ticks, 1 tick equals 0.25, right? So 1 point equals 4 ticks. Okay, that's for NQ. Same thing for what? Yes, right? Now on the Russell, right? 10 ticks equal 1 point, right? So it's a little bit different because 1 tick equals 0.1, 0.1. So 10 ticks equals 1 point. All right. Does everybody get that? This is too much for my brain. It's really pretty easy, to be honest, when you get it down. Basically, right, instead of a stock moving every penny, right, different futures move. They don't do it by the penny, right? Because that would be stupid. It would be like buying stock. They buy it by the quarter. So it just goes in increments of 25 cents. So if the price right now it's 14,241, right? The highest it can go up, the least amount, right, is 2.5. The lowest it'll go down is 40.75, right? So it's just different units to calculate it by. Okay. But when you say 1 point, when you hear anybody on CNBC or anything say 1 point or points, a point is in the stock world, futures world, everything. A 1 point is just $1. So the only thing that you have to do is realize how many points, right? How many ticks are in are in 1 point? Excuse me. Sorry. How many ticks are in 1 point for each contract? And it's important because of the next step that we're going to learn right now, which is how much each tick is worth. Okay. So I'm going to pull up this. I use Tradevate. This is my broker. Okay. Stop it, guys. Stop asking questions. Come on. There's no questions besides what we're going on right now. Yeah, turn this off. The chat. All right, I'll turn it off. All right, so there's ES, right, and NQ. These are the main two that we mostly trade, and we're gonna find out more about them. Okay, so let's click on NQ. So again, trading hours open 1700 hours Central Time, which is what, guys? That is 1800 hours Eastern, right? So that's 6 p.m. like we said. Don't worry about the fees. Don't worry about all that shit right now. Most important thing you have to realize is the specifications, okay? The value per point and the value per tick. So I just told you guys, right, that there's 4 ticks per point in NQ, right? Each time NQ moves 25 cents, 1 tick, you either make or lose $5. So if there's 4 ticks, right? We said there's 4 ticks in 1 point. Every $1 that NQ moves, we make or lose 20 bucks. So look right here, 44.25 just dropped to 43, right? So that's 5 ticks. All right. Now it's how much? Now it just dropped another 8 ticks, right? You can see every single time it moves $1, right? It's 20 bucks up or down. Now, that's just for NQ. Now, what did I tell you guys? Micro, that's a mini contract. So these are called mini contracts. Okay, just trading NQ or ES. If you put an M in front of it, so if I just put the letter M, okay, I get micros. And micros are going to be the same thing. They're going to follow the same price, okay? The only difference, guys, whoops. The only difference is that now we are trading with what? 1/10 the size. Okay, so we're trading with 1/10 the size here on NQ. So if we're trading with 1/10 the size, what is that going to look like? Well, let's see. Up here, MNQ. Now 1/10 of $5 is how much? 50 cents. Right? So every time it moves, instead it'll be 50 cents. And every time we move $1, 50 cents times 4, $1 is now, each point is now how much? $2. Okay. Everything else is the same. So what does this mean? This means that technically, every time NQ moves 1 point, right, we would need 10 contracts, right? We'd have to be in 10 contracts of a micro for it to equal the same thing. So now you might be asking, why wouldn't I just buy 1 contract of NQ instead of 10 contracts of MNQ? Why would I buy micros instead of buying, why would I buy 10 micros, guys, instead of buying 1 NQ contract? And yes, whoever asked, micros are technically more friendly for a smaller account. Yes, of course. So this is a more volatile version of options. Not exactly, but kind of. You guys can just type in the Q&A because I'm not going to open the chat. But go to the Q&A and tell me what you think. Someone said great reward. No. We buy micros because we can scale. There you go. Trim. Everybody's, there we go. Now everybody's saying it. Trim. Okay, perfect. All right, stop typing now. So, right, if we buy 10 contracts, right, imagine instead of buying a 1 contract of Apple for $100, you could buy the same exact thing, but buy 10 of them for $10. That would be better, right? Because why? When that $100 goes to $150, you could sell half of it. You could sell 5 and you can keep riding the position. You don't have to worry about in your head, should I sell? Should I close? Should I hold it? Right? The best way to trade, and what we always tell you guys, is to trade in multiples of 3. Right? Whenever you guys are trading options, you should be trading only contracts for the most part that you can buy multiples of 3, because it's going to eliminate FOMO for you guys. Because what are you able to do when you trade in multiples of 3? You're able to take profit, right? Take profit again at your second target. And then if the chart still looks good, you swing it, right, overnight for free, right? Because you know if you locked in 2 contracts already for profit, that third one is going to be able to be what? Basically free. Hello, guys. You can answer this after the class. I subscribe to your service. So far, I haven't seen any alerts. Yeah, so they're on the website. You go here, Boiler Room Trades. You go to my account. You log in. Under my account, you click start here, and then the Telegram's there. There's also a training I just put up and everything. You have to click here for the Telegram. Click right here for the Telegram. Okay, there you go. And there's training, there's a bunch of shit. I just put all that on. So that's why you aren't doing it. Okay, so next. Next thing we're looking at, right, is going to be what? ES. Okay, so that's NQ. All right, guys. So realize that, what did we say? On NQ, right? Every tick is $5. Okay. So let's look at the next contract, right? ES. So ES is the S&P. All right. S&P, every tick, okay, is $12.50. So instead, someone's saying be on voice more. Well, when you guys signed up, it's for 3 days a week. So we're doing 3 days a week like we always do. we've been doing 5 days a week pretty much for like ever. We just recently stopped doing it because we're trying to live our fucking lives. All right. So anyway, ES, right? $12.50. So every tick is $12.50. So instead of $5, right? This is $12.50. So what does that mean? That means every point is what? $50, right? While every point on NQ is how much? $20. Now, what do you guys notice? Look at the change right here. Look how much NQ is up, 26 points compared to what? ES, right? Moving 3 points. So because ES moves less, right? The value per tick is more. Okay. And it's still less volatile to trade ES than NQ. You guys will see very dramatic moves in NQ than you will compared to ES because why? The point differential, right? NQ on a normal day, right, can move about 150 to 300 points in a day, sometimes maybe more. So do the math, guys, right? 300, right? $300, if 300 points times $20, that's $6,000 per contract that you can have a move of in NQ. With ES moves on average about, you know, somewhere around 1% or so. So you're looking at 1%, right, of 44, 45 or wherever ES is at, you know, 4,400. So it's about 44 points. So let's just say 40 points, right, times 12. So every contract of ES is usually moving right around what? $480. $2,000, right? Because why? Each point on ES is how much? $50, right? So if each point on ES is $50, right, and it moves about 40 or so a day, that's $2,000 per contract. And it'll make a lot more sense to you guys in a second. I'm going to show you kind of how we can look at it a little bit easier. So let's just open up a paper trading position. I don't know what I have on here. I don't know, the last time I did this, I don't know, I guess I went long here. Let's reset. How do I reset it? Reset. All right, so let's just use whatever, 100K, doesn't really matter. So we're gonna take a long here. Again, I'm not charting, I'm not looking really at anything here. I'm just gonna show you guys how it moves, right? We're gonna take a long here on ES, on NQ. Okay, so we're gonna create new order. We're gonna buy one contract. All right, market buy. So we're in. So you guys can see that we got filled at what? 248.75, right? Instantly we're down $35 because why? It's already down 1.5 points. Now it's back up a tick. And it's gonna fluctuate, right? It's gonna fluctuate right around these prices. So every tick is going to be how much, guys? $5, right? And on this, I think they account for the a fee. I'm not too sure. So keep that in mind. Anyway, so you'll see every time it moves one tick, right? We're either gaining or losing what? $5, right? So futures are going to be constantly affecting your portfolio, right? They're going to be affecting your margin. What does that mean? So that means if I have, let's say I have $500. If I have $500, guys, right? If I have $500, let's get rid of everything here. So we already went over all this. If I have $500 in account and NQ 1 point equals $20, when will I lose all my money? When would I lose all my money? I lose all my money, right? When it drops, how many points? All we do is simply 500 divided by 20, right? So if NQ drops 25 points, I'll liquidate my account. So that's when you hear people in crypto It works the same way. When people get liquidated, okay? You can buy Bitcoin at 40K on futures, right? But if it drops $1,000, you lose $1,000. All right, you can buy into Bitcoin futures at any price. With 1x leverage, you'll make $1,000, right? When it goes up. With 2x leverage, you'll make $2,000, right? So it's kind of like leverage trading on Forex or crypto, okay? And it's in the sense that you have a margin running from your account and it's a perpetual contract. So you're constantly pulling money in or out of what? Your account, okay? So you can see here, excuse me, you can see here, we're down over $100 right now, right? Did it even move a lot, guys? Shit didn't even move a lot, right? So you can see just when NQ moved, what? How many points? 5 points. We're already down $110. Now, what is a way? Can you lose more than what you put in? No, you would just get liquidated. So to be honest, when you're on your broker, I told you guys you'd get liquidated around 25 points, right? They'll liquidate you probably around 20 or 21. And that's because why? They don't want to assume your risk, right? What if out of nowhere it drops another 30, 40 points, right? They would margin call you and you'd owe them money. So usually, exactly. Somebody said, so your account balance is a hard stop. Exactly. So people trade futures differently. People trade crypto futures differently. There's multiple ways to trade them. Some people like to trade crypto futures or futures with a small account, right? And that's what they're risking. So for instance, if I only wanted to risk $2,000, right? I could just put 2K in my account and go like, you know, not all in, but like, you know, I could trade very, very risky, right? With 2K. But if I wanted to try to make some more money, but only risk 2K, I could trade with 10K, right? But when it gets down to 8K, right? That's when I would cut my loss, okay? So some people like to do very risky accounts and some people like with smaller capital and other people like to trade with a lot of capital and manage their risk more, right? So there's multiple ways to do it. And you guys can see, you can add in or you can sell, you know, at any point as well, right? As long as the market's open. So an average position for me would be about 3 contracts. So let's scale up a little bit and you'll see, right? You'll see here, whoops. You'll see here the difference, okay? You'll see here the difference when you have 3 contracts compared to 1, right? Now I'm moving in multiples of $15 per tick because each tick is $5. So you guys won't be able to do this most likely because it requires a lot of capital, right? So what could you guys do? What did we learn in the beginning that you can do in order to lower your risk? What is a method you can do? Micros, exactly. Keep in mind, guys, some of you guys are saying minis. Remember, this is minis right now. It's called minis. Micros are the ones divided by 10. Okay. So let's look at MNQ. So for MNQ, excuse me, there's 2 different sessions for the day, guys. There's 2 different sessions, okay? There's day sessions, night sessions, okay, and overnight sessions. Now, day sessions are from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Night sessions are from 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. Overnight, right? Technically, overnight isn't what? In the normal stock market, right? When we hold overnight, we hold from 4 p.m. EST, right? When the market closes until 9:30 a.m. the next day. isn't it better to just stick to one trading style? This is the same trading style, right? So, okay. The reason I'm teaching you guys this is because you can grow a small account with this, right? What we teach and like how you guys trade, you should be able to look at anything. I should be able to look at soybeans right now, right? I'm going to look at soybeans. ZS. Here we go. Ready? It doesn't matter what I'm looking at. I'm looking at soybeans, right? In my head, this is what I'm going to trade on soybeans. If soybeans break above here, I'm buying, I'm getting along. I'm longing, right? If I break above here, I'm longing. All that you do when you trade and when you join any group chat or anything, right? You look for what? Patterns on the same chart. You look for the same things to happen day in and day out, right? All you're doing when you're trading and you learn to trade is trading a chart, okay? All you're doing is looking for trend line breaks, right? You're looking for reasons to go long, right? Reasons to go short, areas to short, right? Areas of resistance. Everything is the same. Reading a chart is what? Reading a chart. At the end of the day, that's all you're doing. You're not changing your trading style. You're not doing anything different, right? You're just learning how to trade a new equity. When you learned how to, when Bitcoin came out, right? If you guys knew how to trade futures, if you longed or shorted some of these highs, right, you'd be able to crush it. You'd understand it a little bit more. Forex guys had a little bit of game ahead. Forex is kind of like trading futures, to be honest. Pretty much is perpetual trading on futures. But again, I'm not teaching, so again, somebody just said, isn't it better to stick to one trading style? I'm not changing my trading style. I'm just showing you guys how to trade something else, right? I'm not trading differently. I'm just trading something different. Okay. Excuse me. Anyway, so let's go back. So in order to enter, just to enter this position, right? In order to enter this position on NQ, right? We need to have a certain amount of money in our account. On Tradovate, this is, I think, the broker with the lowest margins. I'm pretty sure every other broker has higher margins, okay? On Tradovate, we need to have at least $1,000, okay, in our account in order to buy one contract, okay? Now that is from what time though? The day session, right? So from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. At night, so right now, right, we're in the night session, 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. I would need $2,000 per contract, okay? Now, how can I get around this? You guys might be saying, oh, I don't even have 2K, or maybe I only have like 2,000 or 3,000, okay? Well, then what you should do is what? Look at micros, right? Now take a look, guys. What's the margin? $10, $200, right? Totally different ball game now. Okay, so you guys are able to trade markets with less money, right? You're able to trade micros, the micro market, which is the same thing, just divided by 10 with less money. So let's take a look at some of the moves that you can catch. And, I'll show you guys, on the boiler, I post some futures trades here and there, right? I caught a nice rip yesterday. Let's go to yesterday's open. Where is it? What was yesterday? 13th. Yeah, so right after CPI, right here, I caught a nice rip right at CPI, and or no, not yesterday. Was it the day before? Where was it? Hold on a sec. I'm lost here a little bit, guys. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. It's hard to see on what's it called? NQ sometimes because of because without the trend breaks, right? Without the days. So here's the morning on what's today? So today's Wednesday. Here's Monday morning, right? If you guys remember, we waited until about like 10:30 or so, or 10:45, right? That's when we saw a little bit of a move back up. So I took a futures position somewhere around here. I'm not too sure where, to be honest, but at the highs, we had a 70-point move. And you guys can see this is how many minutes? We're on the 15-minute chart right now, right? This is only 45 minutes, okay? So in 45 minutes, we moved 70 points. So let's do the math. NQ, MNQ, right? 70 points equals what? 280 ticks times 5 equals what? So literally just in, guys, super important, right? Just in that 45-minute period, right? $1,400 per contract. Okay. Now with MNQ, right? It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same thing, but what's going to be the difference, guys? Times 0.50, right? Because it's divided by 10. So how much did we make here? 140 per contract. Now, how much margin did it take to get into this position? $100 margin, right? $100 margin, right? So if it only took $100 margin, we made what? We were only using, let's just say we had $100 in the account, right? Even if you use the whole account, right? We're using $100 margin. We just made 140 bucks. Now that's just in this move. If we capitalize a big move or some type of trend reversal, you're able to hold this indefinitely, right? Let's just say somehow we caught this bottom here. Let's say that overnight we were watching this trend line. Okay, it broke out and it retested it here, and we took a long here. We kept raising our stop, okay, and our target was the top of this trend where we drew the trend line from, okay? This is 351 points. 351 points, okay, if we held overnight. What does this look like? And people do this at night. A lot of night sessions are good for this. You can put a stop loss down here. You guys can see we entered here right on the retest. Let's just say, again, this is just in hindsight. Again, who knows if you would have got this. I'm just explaining to you guys the power of futures, okay? What does this look like? We're risking, this is how I would take the trade, right? We're looking to go to the highs. We'll just say right here, okay? We're risking 36 points, okay? So how much is that? 36, right, times 4, right, times 5. It's about $720, okay? 36 points, right, times $20, right? 36 points times 4 ticks times $5, okay? 36 points times 4 ticks times $5, about 720 bucks, okay? So we're risking on this trade, risking 720 bucks, okay? And what are we looking to make on this trade if we hit the top? 312 points, right? 312 points times 4 times 5. $6,240 if you just held a few hours overnight. How much percent of a move is that on NQ? 2% move on NQ. Does everybody get that? Does everybody understand? I'm gonna open up the chat. I think we got rid of some of the trolls. Does everybody get that? It's fucking crazy, right? So if you guys went to bed, right? And we do this overnight all the time. I do this shit all the time. If you went to bed, and here. This is with what? This is with Mike. This is with minis, right? This is with minis, right, guys? You guys understand that, right? So with micros, risking what? 72 to make. Still fucking crazy, right? So now I listen. You guys are gonna lose all your fucking money if you think that it's this easy. So I'm gonna be dead ass with you guys. You're gonna lose more money than you think trading out. Like, you think you lost a lot of money trading options, you're gonna be fucking begging for that McDonald's and Uber job if you go into trading futures thinking that it's easy. So how can we as traders get an edge? What is the most important? So I told you guys this, right? I told you guys this. In futures, if it keeps going down, right? Okay, let me backtrack. On an option, right? If you buy a call and the price keeps going down, how much can you lose? Only what you put in, right? But remember, on futures, it's perpetual, right? So if it keeps going down, you're just going to keep losing money until what? Your account is liquidated. Okay, you have nothing in it. They're just going to say, oh, liquidated. That's it. So what is the way that how do we not get liquidated? Stop fucking loss. Exactly. So if we had $500, guys. Okay. Sorry, I'm eating. I didn't get to eat dinner before this. $500, right? If we had 500 in our account, right? We had $500 in our account. How many contracts can we buy, guys, at the night session? Two contracts, okay? We buy 2 MNQ at the entry. How much are we risking? Let's use this example. No. Let's use this example. How much are we risking, guys? $144. Right? We just risked $144 to make $1,000. Now, be honest with you guys. Oh, sorry, shit. I'm stupid. 1248. See, I needed to eat more. 1248. Yeah, sorry. Jesus Christ, that was bad. How often does this happen? For you guys who trade futures already, is this common? Not really, but it's possible and it happens. What is a common move? I'll tell you this. A common move, guys, is capturing about 1%. Okay? 1% during the day. That's pretty common, 0.75 to 1%. So let's use this example instead. Let's say that this was a day trade during the day. So if this is a day trade during the day, we're looking for a target of 140 points. 140 points, right? Times 4 times 0.5. So we're risking 72, right? So in this case, right, we're risking $72 to make 280. What is the R to R on the trade, guys? Almost what? Almost a 4 to 1. Okay. Somebody said, what indicators apply, doesn't apply to futures? Everything. It's the same. They're the same. Guys, remember, when you trade, when you learn how to trade, you just learned a skill for life. You learned how to read Bitcoin. You learned how to read options. You learned how to, well, no, options are different. Get that out of your head. When you learn how to trade a chart, you learn how to trade stock, equities, like Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies. You learn how to trade corn, Forex, everything, right? Options are different because in options, you have to learn how the options move. I could be the best fucking trader in the world in terms of charts, right? I could buy Apple pre-market when it breaks this trend line right here, right? But if I buy an Apple call, the price of Apple right now is 166, and I buy a $190 call, and the price of Apple goes up 3%, I'm still making jack shit. I'm shit out of luck. I'm making fucking nothing. I'm actually losing money, right? So again, options in my head are harder than futures, because futures, you're just trading a chart. The hardest thing, right? The hardest thing with futures is obeying that stop loss. Because why? What can you do with futures? You can just keep averaging down, right? You can just keep buying. But when you average down in futures, what's the difference compared to options? Super important. Someone just goes, "You're fucked." No. So when you average down on an option, right? Let's say I buy an option at $100 and then I average down at like $50. I'm only risking how much on that extra ad? $50, right? So a total of 150. But when I'm trading futures, I'm not risking less money, right? Unless I put a stop loss. I'm actually doubling down and I'm risking double the money now every time. So if I was going to get stopped out at like, 20 points less, now I'm going to get stopped out where? 10 points, right? So every time you average, you're increasing the potential of your loss in the event that the market dumps. Or maybe you're shorting, whatever, same shit, right? Keep in mind, guys, this works the same way short that it does long, okay? So, if I wanted to short here, every time it goes down, I make $5. Every time it goes up, I lose $5. Okay, it's the same thing. All right. Now, personally, me, how I trade futures. So if you guys were to trade futures, right, you would want to start on micros, right? Why? Because you can buy more contracts. How would you do this? Let me show you guys an example. If I was to trade, right? Let's just say I I was trading futures, right? And I'm looking at the daily chart. Here, just everybody focus. Don't just look at this, look at what I'm doing here first. And let's just say I think that NQ is going to bounce. You need a license to trade futures. No, you don't need a license. Let's just say that I thought NQ was going to bounce right around here. Like I just always, this is where I wanted to buy, and I would put my stop below 13,850. Okay, 13,850 is where my stop loss is. Okay. And when I play this, I'm thinking that we go from here back to the 20 EMA. Okay. So something like this. Okay. Oops. All right. So I am looking at this right around this price action here, right? And what I want to see, right? What I want to see is what? I want to see, compared to this, I want to see what, guys? Yeah, there we go. Diego said it. I want to see a higher low. Okay, I want to see a higher low. So maybe I think it's here. Okay, maybe I think the higher low is here. So what do? I buy maybe buy 2 contracts MNQ here. Okay. So I buy 2 contracts here. Now, when I get back down here, what do I see? Some hammers coming in here. So maybe I buy 2 more right here. Okay. So I bought 2 more here. So now I bought 2 at, let's just say 994, and then I bought 2 more at, let's say 948. Okay, so I bought 2, and I bought 2 at, what did I say? 948. Okay, so my average now is 4 at what? 971. Okay. Now my average is 4 at 971. So just to break even, right? Where do I have to go to? To go to about the halfway mark, right? Right here. And I know that if I break out of this range right here, right, too, right? We have a range here, okay? And I want to make a higher low here, that we're going to see a potential move up. So what do we call this? What do we call this when we're buying and buying, right? We call this dollar cost averaging, or what? Another term is scaling in, right? So futures, you really want to, for the most part, scale into the position, because you can try to snipe this, and, you know, maybe you buy 2 contracts here and you get out here, and that's great, because at the end of the day, let's just say you bought 2 here, you got 75 fucking points, right? You got 150 points times 4 times 0.5, you made $300 if you close here. And you get, let's just say you get stopped out, you only make 250. That's still pretty good, right? But if you're scaling into a position, because why? What did we say in the beginning? We were looking at in the beginning, right? We're looking for a move back to the 20 EMA. We're looking actually for what, guys? A move to where? 14,400. Okay. So we're actually looking for, right? Our average is 4 at 13,971, looking to hit 14,400. Okay. So that's how many points? 439 points each times 4 contracts, right? Equals what? So 1756 points. 1756 times 4 ticks equals what? 7,000 24 ticks. And again, I don't need to type out the ticks. I'm just showing you guys. Okay. Times 0.50 equals $3,500. And guys, how much did I need in order to take this trade? How much did I need in order to go into 4 contracts? I needed how much? Well, let's see. If it was the night session, I needed $800. If it was the day session, I needed $100. I'm sorry, $400. Okay. Did everybody get that? So with futures, you kind of want to scale into position and go for a bigger move for the most part. You can scalp them, and a lot of people make a killing scalping. But me personally, I like to ride for a few days my futures contracts because why? If you catch that bottom or that top, you're looking at making how much? Thousands of dollars compared to how much you're risking. What? A couple $100? In my case, I'm risking maybe 3, 4, 5K, and I'm looking to make 25 to 30K. Yes. Again, my stop loss, it was where? My stop loss is 849. So remember, my stop loss in this case is 849. 971 minus 849, right? I think we said 849. 849. So that's 122, right? Times 4 times 0.50. I'm risking times 4, $970 to make that 3,500. So still how much? Over a 3-to-1 trade. Okay. Now that's if it really went all the way down here too. Can you do a trailing stop on trade of 8? Yes. Good question. Do they expire? So they work in multiples, so they don't exactly expire. But I mean, they do. They have dates, right? It's the quarterly contract, so you'll see them be either in here. I'll show you. So like right now, the contract is June. Then it's a quarterly one to September, December. So, you know, right around the end of May, June-ish, you're going to see a lot. Everybody's going to be like selling these contracts and then moving into this. But it's still the same price. Everything's still really the same. And sometimes your broker will just automatically move you into the next one. So that's it. Yeah, so you're just rolling them. So I'm going to be honest with you, the best way to trade futures, okay, the best way, if you guys actually wanted to try to take this seriously, okay, is this. The best way to trade futures, guys, is you go on QQQ during the day. QQQ during the day, okay? And you look for entries, okay? So let's see. Here's our pre-market levels right here, right? As soon as we broke above pre-market right here, for instance, let's just say we bought here. My stop loss is below this entry candle, okay? And I'm looking for at least what? A 1-to-1 trade, at least, if not more. Okay, in this case, I'd look to the left and I'd look to hit at least yesterday's high of day, right? Yesterday's high of day. What does this trade turn into? A 3.6 to 1, okay? Now, I entered at 10:15. So let's look at NQ. I entered at 10:15. I entered right here. Let's do the same thing, right? I'm playing NQ. Same thing. I'm looking to go to this high a day, right, from yesterday's session. Okay. So what am I doing here? And keep in mind, right? Keep in mind, what am I doing? I'm using what? I'm using what? My stop, right? Okay. I'm using a stop. I'm risking 56.50, right? Which is what? Let's just say 56. Okay, times risking 56 points to make 180. Okay, so I'm risking, right, 56 times how much? 4 times 25. I'm risking $112. Okay, so hopefully make 360. Okay. I'm playing micros. Now this is micros. Minis multiply by 10. Yes, there's no PDT on futures. That's the best part too. Now, somebody just said paper accounts fucked. Keep in mind, right? You guys can see how quickly futures move. I bought 3 regular contracts and look how much I'm down, 1,500. Now, is that a lot really in reality? Not necessarily, right? Because I do have a 100K account that the paper account's using right now, right? So what could I do? What the hell's going on here? Sorry. What could I be doing here, right? I could hold it until tomorrow, right? What could I do? Let's remove these drawings. I could hold this position, maybe look to add around here, right? And I'd probably be risking, you know, somewhere between 6 to 7K, something like that at least. Maybe even a little bit more, right? So in this case, did I position size correctly? No, right? What would have been the correct way to position size? Maybe buying one here if we wanted a breakout, adding here, and then maybe adding another one somewhere around here. You know, again, this is only given that price action shows us that we should add. We're not just adding blindly, okay? And that's it. So did everybody, did you guys enjoy this? Cool. So I'm gonna show you guys how to open an account. Probably like tomorrow or this weekend. And I'm gonna show you guys how to trade. If you guys want to learn kind of how to do it already. Let's see. You guys can see, like, this is what Trade of 8 looks like here. This is kind of the order book. So you guys can see I can place orders, right? I can place sell stop limits, right? So I'm looking to short here when it gets here to 74.25. I just got filled. And I'm looking to exit when it drops down to here. Okay, and you guys can see, look, I'm losing $12.50 every tick because this is ES. And there, I just got filled. Okay, so I shorted and I got filled for $75 profit. That's just a scalp I did. Right, and I have a whole lesson that I go over everything here and stuff, so you can check it out. All right. Anyway, let's say that we break up. Say that we break up for the next couple days, possibly week. And we'll check back where this position's at, scaling in. All keep in mind, I want you guys, if you guys are going to, here, I'm going to give you guys a tip. If you guys are going to start trading futures, I want you guys to just use TradingView or a paper account on Tradeovate. And all you do is type in MNQ, click here, and just trade it. Just trade it, man. So let's open up a trade, right? For instance, boom, I opened up this trade. How much am I making or losing per point, guys? Per tick, rather, 50 cents, right? Just paper trade it, man. The best thing you can do is click here, right? Hit paper trading. Then click right here. Hit reset account and then type in, you know, how much would you put in your account? $1,000, $500, and act like it's a real account. Practice. Okay. And that's it. Can you explain how your dog locked you out of your house? Yeah, he jumped up on the back door. He hit the lock on it. It's crazy. All right. So that's it, guys. That is about it. So if you guys like this, please let me know on Twitter. And that's it. All right. Everybody have a great night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right. Peace.